Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuning in or catching a replay. I am Rebecca, a digital mompreneur of three beautiful girls from Singapore and owner of my page, Rebecca So. Welcome once again, and I am really excited to share with you my live series, Inspiring People, Inspiring Stories. Everyone has a story, and you will get to hear real life stories of how ordinary people like you and I are able to step into the digital world and own our very own business with the help of an easy to understand, trusted, and proven system to create the life that we love and choose. And today, I have the honor of having Janice. Uh, yeah,
Hi, good morning
this is
everyone.
Janice, and yeah, I would love Janice to introduce herself. Hi, Janice.
Hi, good morning to you. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you for Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca, for inviting me on this interview. I am Janice. I'm a full-time working mom of two young daughters, and I am living in Singapore in the same place like Rebecca. Firstly, I need to apologize because I'm actually out in the cafe. In case I will try to speak louder, but if in case
Yeah,
you cannot hear me, you do let me know, right?
yeah, it's good. Yeah, good. So, Janice, from what I know, about you. I would like my audience to know more about you and like what was life before you started this digital business. Would you like to share?
Okay, I actually started this digital business 16 months ago. And prior to having this digital business, right, I have been a full time employee all my life for the past 2 decades. And never once I quit a job before I get another job. So I'm always a very um, uh, okay, I'm always the very scared and careful one. That means I must secure a job first before I quit my current job, right? So 16 months ago, after having okay, my life before this digital business, right? So in my past 2 decades, I have been striving very hard to uh, climb up the corporate ladders as I'm without a degree. So in the corporate world, actually it's very realistic, right? Without papers, you know, you probably need the extra effort to show your performance to your superior or the organization to show that without a paper you also can do well. Yeah, so that was and in my industry, I'm actually from oil and gas. So operations are 24/7. So for my lifestyle, I will need to work 24/7 as well. Like I need to wake up in the middle of the night if there's a call. Uh, if operation has some hiccups, I will need to go back to site even it's in the middle of the night. Sometimes I will also have to go back even it's a weekend or sometimes it's public holiday. I ever spend my Christmas on with on in front of the laptop while my families are enjoying the Christmas dinner. Yeah. So
Oh,
I can never have peace in terms of family time. Yeah. And that was the
mhm.
life before.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, which leads us to the next question. What made you step into this digital business 16 months ago?
Um, you know, the pressure that I'm getting, I think during the pandemic, everybody sensed it, right? It was unknown for everyone, and especially in my industry, it was very, very, very bad because oil price, right? I mean, our business depend and uh, heavily depend on the oil price, and never once the oil price went below zero, right? Right, and
Yes, yes.
the culture in the company changed a lot because of how the pricing menu, and I was getting a lot of pressure at work, right? And I was also trying to mingle between family and work because my elder one is actually having a critical year this year. It's a major exam and it's her first major exam, right?
Mm.
And I actually broke down one day because I was not able to handle both sides, right? And I was desperate for a change, right? But then I was not willing to let go of um, the effort that I have been putting in. Effort in terms of, you know, the money take back that I worked so far, so hard for, without having a degree. I'm actually getting hard, I would say, comfortable level of money take back, right? But if I were to let go of this money take back, right, it's like I probably need to sacrifice a lot of our um, uh, habits that we are comfortably living with. And actually, my husband wasn't working also, so I'm actually the sole
Oh,
breadwinner.
wow.
Yeah, and then that's also one of the pressure that I was getting, right?
Mm.
And but I really wanted a change at that point of time. I know my mental health is not doing well. Um, I was detected with high blood pressure, which, you know, my food intake didn't change. And if you know me, I'm actually an active person. I
Yeah.
exercise, I go hiking. But then just somehow I was not feeling well, and then I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Hey, you're actually having high blood, and it's the really high level kind." But I just refuse to take the medications because I know actually the problem comes with the pressure that I was having at the period of the time, right? And so coincidentally, I actually chanced upon this business opportunity over a social media advertisement, and I was very curious, and I stepped in to take a look. So I was actually looking for a change in terms of uh, changing another job, but I didn't expect that I'm actually picking up a business of my own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's so interesting, how uh, different people like all of us are brought into this. And, you know, this leads me to this question, like, how has that changed your life? Like, after stepping into this business, how has that changed your life? Like, for example, currently, where are you now?
You know, just now I mentioned that I'm a person that I must secure a job first before I actually quit my current job. So
Yes.
with the business platform, I actually quit the job immediately got when I stepped into the business platform. But um, we all know that this business platform is not a overnight success thing, right? It takes
Yes.
time to build.
Yes.
I'm actually seeing progressively seeing success over the 16 months. It's not like,
Yeah.
overnight and then I can the business can actually replace me, my my um, day my day job, right? So what I did was I took the courage to quit my job. Of course, I also took up a lower paid job at a later time, right? But then it was less stressful with the lower paid job. Probably your responsibility is lesser, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't need that sleepless night anymore because a change in an environment, and I'm actually a happier person. Over these 16 months, I've been doing a lot more things with my children. We go kayaking, we go hiking. Um,
Yeah.
but I actually slowed down because my elder one, I need her to focus on her major exam. So yeah, but then everything is in the plan, right? It's like in the past I couldn't plan because I have no time. I have no time for them. That's the one of the important thing that I need for my family. Right? But I'm actually giving my 24 hours to the company instead. So this is
Yeah.
actually a major change for me in terms of my lifestyle. Yeah, and being happier is also a second major change. Like I said, I didn't go with the medication. I choose not to because I know
Yeah.
it's a problem. But 16 months down the road, my blood pressure actually went down
Yeah.
without medication.
Yeah, that's
Right.
good.
So it's you know the problem, you must be able to solve the problem, right? But in order to solve the problem, you probably need to take some actions, right?
Yeah.
If yeah, that's how amazing my lifestyle has changed over the 16 months.
Like, and at the same time, would you like to share with the audience, like, where are you currently at and who are you with now, to
Okay.
see like
Oh yeah,
how has
yeah.
this
I'm actually I'm actually staying with my parents, and my they are actually aging parents, right? And before that, my parents, they actually have their own F&B business. And why I wanted to start a business of my own, because I've actually witnessed how my parents, who has a business, was
Mhm.
able to see that or generate that good income. But uh, they having an traditional business is they don't have the time, which actually I need the time. So I wanted the income, I wanted the time. All right. So and when my parents had the traditional business, right, they didn't have the time for me as well. Like now that they are already 60 plus and 70, it was difficult for me to uh, manage between my parents and my children. You can imagine the extreme ends, right? Like for example, we went to Korea for holiday. It was I mean, when we go holiday, it's supposed to be a bonding experience, but that was a holiday that I didn't enjoy because my parents, they couldn't walk long at their age. They
Oh,
couldn't walk far, but with
yeah.
my kids, right, they are always active, and at their age, they are looking forward to go out every day, right? Then
Yeah.
it was difficult to to be sandwiched
Balance.
in between two of them. Yeah. And then this actually brings back to what I want. I don't want my kids to, until I 60 plus 70, and then they are probably in their 20s, 30s, and I cannot be enjoying time with them. Right.
Yeah.
And if I were to continue the lifestyle that I used to have, I'll probably
Mhm.
end up like my parents.
Mhm.
Right. And then
Yes.
um, that's putting myself in the future of my kids, right? How would
Yeah.
they react if the mother cannot walk already, and then it's kind of like a burden to them, you know?
Mhm.
But I still wanted that bonding time because I didn't have it when my parents were working, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having this digital business also helped me to balance up. Like when the kids go to school, I can actually have time with my parents instead of working in a corporate job.
Yeah.
So I can actually spend the daytime with them, then evening or weekend with my children. So I actually get a balance better because for
Yeah.
them, probably activities will be different.
Mm. True. Yes. I mean, it's a constant for parents. We always have a lot of worries, regrets, like, for you it will be not having enough time. For me it will be I don't have enough money because while I'm at home I'm not earning, in monetary form. So it's a struggle for both sides, right? So Like,
Yeah. So
yeah. So for me, I would love to ask, if you have any advice for the audience or anyone watching.
actually, my advice, right, is I believe, like Rebecca had said, everybody has your own story, right? But in order to change the story, you can actually write your own ending, right? I started off, I didn't know what to do, I was lost, but do you want to be lost forever? Do you want to, just let every day pass by, each day meaninglessly, or you want to do something to change your future? In order to work on that change, right, there is something that um, we can do here over as a digital business owner. I mean, like myself, I took the courage and picked up the business, flow as it go, plan as I have progressed. Right, and this business is a business that do not require you to a lot of the time. You can actually do it at your own time. Rebecca
Yeah.
actually have 3 kids, right? And so with 3 kids, she still can manage this business. And
Yes.
her kids are young, right? Very young compared to mine. Mine quite independent already,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it's very highly dependent on what you want to achieve for your future. I,
Yes.
I have spent 2 decades wasting off. I don't want my next 2 decades to be of the same. I really wanted something. I really wanted. I wanted to stay that comfort level, but I don't want to. I want to change the lifestyle as well. Right? But in order to have this, in order to achieve that, right, you probably need to work on it somehow. If you don't take action to anything, you won't get change,
Yeah.
right? So we actually have a live webinar that's happening tomorrow 8 a.m. and I'll be one of the panelists tomorrow. Yeah, so and we are real people, right?
Yes.
We started off with no knowledge about running a digital business, right?
Yes.
And we have all the trainings, we have mentors and coaches globally to guide you, and this is definitely a business that you won't feel alone. But you have to step in order to feel that spirit that we have,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And right now you are at the cafe, right, with our fellow business partners and leaders. Yeah.
Actually, I'm having a cafe with many people. Hey,
Woohoo!
ready? No, no, but okay. So we have Elaine, right? Oh, hi. So we have Elaine and Jessie.
Hi.
So the other side we have Adeline and Lee, right? So, and it's really amazing how this business actually brings like-minded people, together. And we
Yeah.
don't know each other. We don't know. I don't know them. I don't know Rebecca. But then yet, right, we can actually gather. Of course, this
Yeah.
is opportunity is available for us that is in Singapore. But
Yeah.
those overseas, right, we actually meet them online. But I'm actually looking forward to meet them in person. Once my
Yes.
passport is ready,
Yes.
once I actually submitted to do up my expired passport, right? But I have actually plans to go overseas to meet up some of the business partners that I actually get to know from this digital business as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's definitely an amazing business for you to check it out. You have to step in to feel it, right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Janice, for your time. Thank you for the sharing and sharing your story. And like what Janice said, do check it out. And because I'm inspired by her story and I really want to share with all of you. So if you are inspired by what she has shared, take the next step, and take a look at what this is all about and see if this is for you or not. So, thank you for your time, everyone, and thank you, Janice, for sharing. Uh, we'll see you on the other side. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.